ó láwọn pásítọ̀ ńláńlá Nàìjíríà Pentecostal ó ní wọ́n máa wá ń gba omi òkú lọ́wọ́ òun dẹ́nà bá ti fi nǹkan sí wọ́n máa fi nu ṣíà.
ẹ̀tàn ló wà nú ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀, ẹ̀tàn àti àrékérekè, ẹ̀mí òkùnkùn. Kí gbogbo àwọn wòlíì lọ wádìí ẹ̀ wò. Má jẹ́ àfiṣẹ́ Olúwa ká máa fi tan àwọn èèyàn jẹ, ká máa fi lu jìbìtì, ká máa fi parọ́, ká máa fi jalè,
ká máa fi di ọmọ mọ́lẹ̀,
ká máa tayọ̀ lọ́fà. Àjẹ́ ló ń tayọ̀ lọ́fà, èmèrè ló ń tayọ̀ lọ́fà. Èwo ni ti wòlíì? Bí gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ̀ ṣe kẹ́nìkan máa sọ pé òun nìkan ni wòlíì, pé kò sí wòlíì kankan.
Wọ́n ní wòlíì ẹyọ kan ló wà nínú Nàìjíríà.
Orí rẹ̀ burú.
Lóhun dẹ̀ ni.
Èṣù ti bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ kó mọ̀. Ẹ̀sìn ló ń ṣe, ó ń ya wèrè ni. Ṣé yóò mọ̀ pé ó ní mẹ́ńtà? Ó ní mẹ́ńtà. Kéèyàn máa gbó bí ajá, kéèyàn máa gbó bí ẹlẹ́dẹ̀. Ó ya wèrè ni. Ìránṣẹ́ ṣáwọn bàbá wọ̀nyí, ẹ jẹ́ ká tiẹ̀ sọ, ṣé Ọ̀ṣọ́fà ṣe bíi tiẹ̀ nígbà yìí ẹ̀? Ó ti tán.
Welcome back. You will be listening to more. Marcus Tibetan, self-acclaimed prophet, dropped bombshell. You heard him at the beginning of the intro where he said some pastors went to get the liquid that comes out from the body of the deceased and they use it to expand their ministry. In fact, that some of them combine this with sea water and they repeat some incantations on it. This enables them to see visions. It enables them to see into people's life. Now, you saw two short clips from previous videos where a self-acclaimed Christ apostolic prophet said some things about Prophet Marcus Tibetan. Well, Prophet Marcus Tibetan is a controversial prophet. He said something that I want you guys to pay attention to. What he said has caused a little bit of tension here and there. I mean, among the Pentecostals. Prophet Marcus Tibetan has always shown disdain for Pentecostal pastors, and most of the people that he often targets are the G5, the Jews. They call them the G5, G7, like how you have, I'm talking about the general overseers of not just some tiny churches, but those that have big domes and branches all over the Federation and even outside of Nigeria, such as E. Adeboye, W.F. Kumuyi, and some other pastors. Even among the white garment prophet that Prophet Marcus Tibetan is from, he speaks about them in such manner too. Maybe one or two people appeal to him. Now, Prophet Marcus Tibetan, like I said, is a controversial prophet, and he is also riddled with so many accusations. One of it is a young man that came out recently alleging that Prophet Marcus Tibetan had duped him, manipulated him. It started first with prophecy, and he ended up dropping 70 million naira. He said, "This is all I have. How I did what I did, I still do not understand. Is it spiritual manipulation? Or it is just the young man believing too much in what Prophet Marcus Tibetan told him?" It is called con, meaning bringing someone to have confidence in you. What exactly is this thing that happened? Now, Prophet Marcus Tibetan also had some clash with the prophet that spoke after him. Well, if you've not watched that video, you'll be seeing some of the clips at the end of this one. I do not need to go deep into it because I want you to listen to what Prophet Marcus Tibetan has to say this time around. It is very deep, very deep. Prophet Marcus Tibetan came into limelight through the efforts and the professional assistance of a blogger called Asabe. Asabe is the CEO of Asabe Africa TV. Both of them are no longer in business. But now, Prophet Marcus Tibetan has found other people to hear his opinion. And this time around, what he said, I'm sure that if you're a Pentecostal member or you're a member of the church that he mentioned, or the pastor of the church or churches that he mentioned, maybe you have an answer. That is why I want you to pay attention from the beginning of it till the end. Let's get right into it.
Bible kan tó nìyẹn o tó bá gbo efirin tó mú dẹ́ńtẹ́ tí o bá ní migraine tó bá lágbára tó bá mú bomubomu tó bá fi raná tó bá yọ omi ẹ̀ jáde tó bá fún sí mú méjèèjì ò ní rí migraine mọ́ o ìyẹn ni àwọn Bible tá a bá lọ́wọ́ bàbá wa kéèyàn ló tó fẹ́ gbọ́ torí èmi fúnra mi tí mo jòkó yìí tí n bá rìn lọ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ìwé mo máa ń rí nǹkan tó kọ sórí ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan.
Ẹ mọ̀ rí tó kọ sórí ewé.
Nǹkan tó ń fi ṣe ní oúnjẹ ọmọ babaláwo. My father is an engineer, caterpillar mechanic, heavy duty. Yes. Àwọn kan díẹ̀ sọ́lẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ mẹ́ta gbé dáàdi mi ò ṣe mechanic mo ṣe rí nìyẹn. Bàbá mi tèmi ní kì í ṣe bàbá tiwọn. Nǹkan tó bá wù wọ́n ẹlẹ́nu ló lè fẹnu ẹ̀ sọ. O lè sọ fún pé orí mi bàjẹ́, ìyẹn ò ní kí n dúró báyìí sọ̀rọ̀. Torí mo mọ̀ pé bí mo ṣe ń lọ orí mi ò bàjẹ́. Ṣé ti yẹ? So nǹkan tí onímọ̀ ń kóòtù nínú bíbélì who correct àti pẹ́ńbì yìí bí a ṣe pẹ́ńbì yìí náà ni mo tún ṣàlàyé wọ́n sí ní 1970 a wà ní Anglican àti CAC àti Gospel Faith Mission ní 1960 náà dálẹ̀ gbogbo ilé ayé mi pátápátá inú church ni mo wà. Even olóòtú tó gbé ẹ wáyìí inú chọ́ọ̀chì kan náà bẹ̀ mí ẹ̀ sí Zion àbí kò yẹ then even gbẹ́kẹ̀ tó kú ẹ̀gbọ́n wa pátápátá inú Zion náà bí wá sí but gbogbo ẹ̀ nílùú wa ń sìn àfi gbogbo ẹ̀ gba bíbélì yìí gbọ́ tán o torí àgbà pé tó bá dé ìlú mi ń sìn tí Marcus bá gbé revival lọ sáyé á jẹ gbèsè Tádébóyè bó ṣe popular tó yẹn tó bá lọ sóde ayé lọ ṣe revival àbí ìlú tuntun àbóde erinjẹ àbí ìgòdàn lisa àbí anywhere ajẹgbèsè reason tó máa fi jẹgbèsè ni pé o lè báyàn nílùú mi ní Monday to Saturday night. Wọ́n wà ní oko ọ̀pẹ wọn wọ́n wà ní oko iṣu wọn wọ́n wà ní oko kòkó wọn rádaràdí wọn pé gbogbo nǹkan táwọn Nàìjíríà bá fẹ́ ṣe Èkó ní headquarter ikú òjijì Èkó ni headquarter olè Èkó ni headquarter ẹjọ́ lè báyàn sùn kó kú Èkó ni headquarter èèyàn jáde kò wọlé Èkó ni headquarter pásọ̀ ìgbàlódé Èkó ni pásọ̀ ayédatiwa Èkó ni ṣe ti yẹ ń sìn because wọ́n rí pé ibi téèyàn pọ̀ sínú ti lè dá wàhálà yìí lẹ̀. Adébóyè ló mú wọn ní Múgù.
Bàbá.
Obìnrin kan jẹ ó kú ní lùtù ń sìn nọ́ọ̀sì ni káwọn ọmọ ọjọ́ tó dé ṣé o rántí pé wọ́n níbi tó kú bá ṣomi sí ibẹ̀ ló ń jẹrà sí wọ́n ti sọ wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn pásítọ̀ yìí náà ní àwọn Adébóyè àwọn Abíára àwọn Oyèdèpọ̀ gbogbo wọn yìí náà ní ókè ìkejì tó wà tó wò kejì tó tún jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ o nígbà tí Adébóyè ìyàwó ẹ̀ ní dráìvà Adébóyè ní dráìvà ọmọ Adébóyè ní dráìvà then ọmọ àna ẹ̀ ní dráìvà níbo náà ti rí àwọn dráìvà wọ̀nyí mú nínú ìjọ then èló náà sọ fún wọn.
Bàbá àwọn dráìvà tẹ̀ ń darúkọ yẹn wọ́n máa ń gbowó ńláńlá.
Ẹ̀sà èló náà sọ fún wọn èló náà fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n ti sẹ́ẹ̀tù ẹ̀ nǹkan tẹ́ẹ̀nì ìgbà ẹ̀.
Bàbá ó dà ẹja máa
Lagos
bọ̀rọ̀ lọ.
state fúnra ẹ̀ ìjọba ń san 30,000 ṣé dọ́là náà san fún wọn ló fi pọ̀ ní ṣé Adébóyè lè fi nú wọn dráìvà ẹ̀ ṣé Adébóyè lè fi nú wọn kúkú ẹ̀ Nílé Adébóyè nìkan wọ́ṣámánì wà wọ́ṣámánì wà kúùkù wà dráìvà wà gádìnà wà àbíkò yẹn ń sìn
Àgbáyé
then
bàbá.
generator operator wà pilot wà air crew wà ẹjọ́ sà èló ló fi ń san gbogbo owó àwọn pípò yìí then níbo ló ti rí ní bèrè lọ́wọ́ ara bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ níbo ló ti rí owó wọ̀nyí ìyẹn ni mo sọ fún ẹ ní Ezekiel 34:10 only stop making these people for food. Stop what? Making them for food. Ẹ wo àwọn olùṣọ́ àgùntàn tó ń bá pàdé out of the apostle 3:1-5. Only silver and gold we did not have. But what we have, we will give to you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, let your illness come now. Rise and walk. That's one. Then 2 Corinthians 12, from verse 10. Ó ní kẹ́ máa wo apostoli ló ń sọ̀rọ̀. Ó ní àti kọ́ láti máa fi ọwọ́ wa ṣiṣẹ́. Ó láàgbówó lọ́wọ́ èèyàn rí. Ó ní eléyìí táwọn ìjọ míì fún wa. Látún fún àwọn ìjọ kéréje kan fi ra máìkì kan fi ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀. Ó láàgbówó lọ́wọ́ anybody. Then when you look at the book of 1 Corinthians 14 from verse 26 down, only as we have the terrestrial body, we have the celestial body. All the leaders of the churches today are too dodgy. They are too dodgy, they are too dirty. And they have misled their disciples. That's number one. Then number two, ṣé wọ́n mọ Kúmúyì nígbà tó dé láti Korea. Member CAC ni nǹkan tó rí kọ́ wá láti Korea. Ó dẹ̀ yapa. Ó kúrò níbi tó wà, the apostolic. Ó gbé tiẹ̀ kalẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ òun àti ìyàwó. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tó yá, ó ní wọn gbọ́dọ̀ wọ earring. Wọn gbọ́dọ̀ wọ television. Wọn gbọ́dọ̀ dúró ní méjì. Wọn dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ wọ bàtà tó wọ́n. Wọn gbọ́dọ̀ wọ sòtù tó wọ́n. Àbíkò yẹ leader nìyẹn o. Ṣèbá Adébóyè ló sọ fún wa pé open heaven. Ṣé ní Kòròdú ní heaven ti open? Ṣé ní Ìyànàpájà? Ṣé ní ẹ̀yìn ọ̀rẹ́? Heaven open. Ó kàn paraphrase, ó satirize yẹn ni ó fi gbé wa mọ́ra. Then bọ́dẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ létí tí òkun yẹn náà ní búlọ́fà ń tẹ̀lé wọn. Ní búlọ́fà ń tẹ̀lé wọn. Anybody who fail to pay tithes is going to hell. Ẹnu leader church àwọn Nigeria láti bọ́ lè yọ. Oh, they are not the time COVID. We are not going to church for a whole 1 year. And they are still texting message and account. Oyedepo Abiara Adebo Abadare send it to church member at home. Àwọn tó jòkó sílé tó hàn tí mo fẹ́ tí mo bí àwọn máa kú. Ẹni kó tó máa sọ̀dá mẹ́wàá. Ta ló fẹ́ lò ó? They are not going to job. They are not going to work. And you ain't doing this. Malachi 1, Malachi 2, Malachi 3. Then when you look at the book of Haggai 1, ó ní wo ilé wọn bó ṣe rí mèremère. Ó ní wo ilé Olúwa wa bó ṣe rí. So at the end of the day, àwọn leader àwọn yìí ni o, because tí afọ́jú bá fọ̀nà wọn afọ́jú, they will both fall on the same pit. Àwọn ọmọ ọjọ́ wọn gọ̀ wọn fẹ́ yí hanra. Ṣé bá àwọn ọmọ ọjọ́ ló bá Ọlárìndé gbẹ́lẹ̀ tí ó sin secretary ẹ̀ títí ìyàwó fẹ́ gbígbé ta. Ọlárìndé bẹ̀rẹ̀ èèyàn sínú church ní time ẹ̀ nàdọ́lọ́hún wérò. But wọ́n bí now. Then Dàúsà pàápàá nígbà táwọn olóògbé ni ẹ̀ránṣẹ́ wá sẹ́kọ̀ọ́ àwa ń bẹ̀ ní airport road tó ní kí Dàúsà lọ bọ̀gún. Ó ní no, my God is not fertile, my God ọjọ́ kẹta mú pa ajá. Ṣé Dàúsà ò bọ̀gún? Ṣé kò tí ì bọ̀gún pẹ̀lú sísítẹ́ẹ̀mù yẹn?
Welcome back. What do you think about what Prophet Marcus Tibetan said? He spoke about Pentecostal pastors. The thing is, this white garment, either the Celestial Church of Christ or the Cherubim and Seraphim or the Cherubim and Seraphim movement and their denominations or breakaway faction or group, some of them believe that Pentecostal movement distorted or sold to Christians the idea that white garments are fetish And they even pointed to white garment churches being situated where water is, and the activities of some of them close to the sea or even inside of the sea. The truth of the matter is this: I'll speak personally, my own opinion and observation. Yes, I might not know the percentage, but I do know that the white garment is divided into two. Few, very few, have kept with the true call of God. And what I mean by that, I mean the Bible and what it says. Now, the other group in white garment, I'm talking about their shepherd, their prophetess, and prophets. They call themselves prophets, but they can be referred to as prophets of Baal. Yeah. Why? Because whatever they tell you as solution to your problems is not different from what an Ifa priest will tell you, or a water priestess will tell you. It's the same thing. They will tell you to go and offer propitiation, if I pronounce that well, to your head or to your creator. They will tell you things that you only find in traditional worship. I mean, worship of deities. That's what they are going to tell you. And you'll be wondering, what is the connection or fellowship between, in quotes now, what Christians call light and darkness? This brings me back to what happened between Queen Shilekunla and Oni of Ife. Oni of Ife is a king, a custodian of deities in Yoruba land. And the wife, Shilekunla, she said she's a prophetess, an evangelist. Both of them came together, and we saw her manifesting those Christian gifts, prayers, and prophecies. Now, people who are custodians, such as Babalawo, Ifa priests, and all of that, they said, no, this marriage is not going to hold. Why? Because of conflict of interest. You cannot be with the king when he's pouring libation on the demons or deities that you are dealing with. Demons that you are casting out of people. It doesn't work, because these are contradictory. It's a dichotomy. You can't balance it together. No, not at all. Even the African, or let's say the Yoruba traditional worship system, it has been manipulated. It has been distorted. There are a lot of things that they tell you that are not even correct, that are not even proper. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Some of the practices, they are all lies, fallacy. All of it is just to get money off you and to further put you in darkness. Meaning, even the worship of the deity itself is total fallacy. So there is a lot of these things happening, and this thing has gotten into the church itself. So white garment will have people from Islam who joined. That's why you hear them repeat some Quranic verses. That's one. You also see those that are worshippers of deities, all of a sudden, let's say Oshun, Yemoja, or any of these deities, or Batala, or any of these deities that puts on white. White is their symbol. You'll find them in white garment churches because it blends. All they need to do is just impute a little bit of in Jesus' name, and then they attach. So it means what they use in divination, that's what I'm going to call it, and also solution comes from the same source of Oshun, Yemoja, and all of that. And since they go to the river or sea, it is the same thing. The only difference is that they are putting on those garments and they have some perfumes and they have all of that. So that's that about that. Now, many of the Pentecostal pastors, their foundation is either Islam or white garment, because that used to be the beginning of Christianity, so to say, in Nigeria. It started first with the Cherubim and Seraphim. It extended, and we started seeing Christ Apostolic Church. We started seeing the Celestial Church. That was what it is. So it's either you are a Muslim, or you belong to these three denominations, or you are 100% a worshipper of deities. Later, started seeing the Methodist, Catholic and all of that, people started becoming part of it, but they still connected to their deities. That is what it is. So saying one person came from, of course, we don't choose family to come from. We don't choose religion to belong to when we are young. It is when you get older, that's when you can decide on what you want to do for yourself. So mentioning Pastor Kumuyi and Oyedepo and all of that, this has always been how Prophet Marcus Tibetan expresses himself. He believes that they are fraudsters, and with this latest of having people in church for longer hours, Monday, something prayer service, Tuesday, energy praying ministry service, Thursday, miracle for God's people, Friday, Jesus is Lord in the morning, then night vigil, then Saturday, workers, something, then Sunday, the service from morning. But if you go to a prophetic church, from the morning, early hours of the morning, you'll be there till probably 6. 6, you go home, you clean up, shower, prepare yourself. If you have a job, you go to work. When you're coming back from work, you go back to church. Now, some pastors are saying that people are using productive hours, economic productive hours, to better the lot of the prophet or pastors or Islam. Even Muslims have it now. So don't think it's a Christian thing. Like, people are spending more hours in church. So the question that begs for an answer is, if people spend more hours in church, it means they are not making money. How is this church? How are the pastors making money? How are they getting offering and tithe? That's a question that I want us to ponder upon. So I'm kind of thinking, and I think you also know, that majority of those that spend time in church are women and children. If you go to churches all over Africa, maybe all over the world, you will find more women than men. More women than men. Maybe most of them are traders or housewives. So rather than sitting down at home, they go to church. Some close their businesses, they go to church. You see, children and women, you'll find them in church, always in church. So this new trend of saying that majority of these pastors are just taking over economic hours, productive economic hours, and that this is not right, that things needs to be balanced up, that there is nowhere or anywhere it is written in the scriptures that sitting in church and saying I receive will make you receive anything. Better get your ass up, go there and do the needful. Follow that principle and achieve and make your nation greater. But saying that you are receiving, you will only be receiving it in the spirit. It will not manifest physically because you're not doing nothing. I want us to discuss about this. The balance between spirituality and what you need to do for yourself as a human being physically. What do you think about spending hours in church rather than you thinking of how to go about what you need to do? And don't forget that at times, what you pay too much attention to becomes a burden on you. For example, if you've been told several things and you continue thinking about it, it could be a problem to you. I'll break it down so you understand. When you look at Africa, you realize that majority till date are into idol worship And it is not the idol worship alone. It is about the covenant, because this spirit or deities that they call for help attach covenant to whatever you do. That covenant is a universal law. It's a principle. It means you are tied to it regardless. So now you are no longer into this practice. You don't even know that your ancestors were worshippers of this deity or that. And maybe you are the 6th generation and this deity appears in your dream. Is it that you thought about it? No, it is what it is, manifesting in your dreams, letting you know that your ancestors in one village somewhere, and now you are probably in New York, or you are somewhere in the city in Lagos, or you are somewhere in Kenya, and you're seeing the manifestation of this thing, and you go seek for solution or help, and you are being told the same thing, like, oh, there is this covenant, or there is this thing, this deity that does not want you to achieve, and you're seeing this lack of growth manifesting in your life. That becomes your reality to deal with. I think from there, we started seeing a lot of churches or spiritual places trying to battle with some of these issues that came as a result of covenant. That's why people spend time in church. And all of a sudden, it seems everything in their life that has gone wrong stems from something spiritual. I'm sure you must have heard this saying, the spiritual controls the physical. Is it true that the spiritual controls the physical? Is it true? Drop your opinion in the comment section below.